Hello, I'm Jeff Phillips. I'm the steel band director at New Philadelphia. I've been doing steel band for the past 15 years at New Philly. The steel drums in New Philly were actually brought to New Philadelphia by Joan Wenzel in the late 1980s. And she had brought a collection of pans made by pan maker Cliff Alexis, who has actually just recently had just passed on. He's one of the forefathers of steel pans in the entire world. And she brought that collection of pans to New Philly, and then she moved to Dover and took that collection of pans with her to Dover. So the New Philly Steel Band program was kind of dormant for a few years until Joanne McConnell took over in the late 90s, and she acquired some steel pans from Panyard, which is a pan making company in Akron, Ohio. And she did that through 2001, and then she left. And they put the pans in the basement of Weldy Middle School. And then at the encouragement of my principal at the time, Sally Stroop, in 2006, we got the pans out of the basement and began our steel band class. We have a very involved program that the students rehearse 3 days a week. Starting in November, it's an audition group where we typically have about 100 to 125 students audition for our steel band program. Our largest band currently has an enrollment of 48 members, which makes it one of the largest steel bands in the United States. Well, one of the most beneficial parts of my job is getting to work with all the students that I've worked with through the years. Watching that progress that they make as a musician, but also as a human being, and seeing how excited they get when they learn something on an instrument, and they have that joy of something they've been trying to get for 2 months, and then they finally get that rhythm or the note that they've been working on, and they just, you can see the pure joy that they have.
Playing the music was probably like my favorite part, but I liked all the friendships I made, like especially with her and like other people that I've met and coming back and seeing everybody that I played with before from like so many years before is kind of a huge nostalgic moment. It's a lot of fun. So
yeah, it's really cool, especially coming back. Like I've seen people that I haven't seen in 3-4 years, and on top of it, I just love performing with the steel band. They're such a high energy group and a crowd pleaser for sure.
And as far as steel band goes, just the camaraderie that students have, the unique ability that we have with the ensemble, our biggest ensemble, the New Philadelphia Steel Band. Students from 7th grade through 12th grade. So you have 18-year-old seniors working with 13-year-old 7th graders. And some of the music that we do repeat some songs every year. And the seniors and juniors will actually teach the 7th and 8th graders how to play those songs by rote, which means that they'll teach them the notes and rhythms without sheet music. And I'm not even involved with some of that teaching. The students teach each other. So watching the kind of the family-oriented program that we have and how it functions is one of the greatest benefits, I think, that I've been able to be a part of in our steel band program.
I think the biggest thing you learn being in a group like this is definitely the family aspect of it. We've been through a lot as an organization and as a group, and we've just learned to have each other's back and always be there for each other, which I think is really cool and really valuable.
It's just such a close-knit group that there's little different relationships that we've all made, and all little friendships and just different experiences we're going to share with each other.
It's basically what she said, like family aspect. It's just, you won't find this anywhere else, so it's pretty great.
Everybody in the steel band is such a close-knit group. It's like one big family. Like, since I've been here for like 6 years, since I was in 7th grade, now I'm a senior. I remember back in 7th grade, like, all the seniors were leaving. It was like the saddest thing in the whole year. Now it feels weird being put in that position. But like, since the alumni just came back, if you're to see, like, everyone just was so happy, like everyone was trading hugs. Even after you graduate, it's still a family, whether you've been here for 1 year or 6 years or you're an alumni.
we have such a deep friendship for everybody and like family love. It's like, that's my favorite part.
Saying what she said, like, you can come back after so long and just have those same friendships you left off, or you pick up right where you left off. And I don't think you would really find that anywhere else. Like sports, they're close, but like I made some of my best friends here through this program, so That's my favorite part.
Literally most of my friends come from this program just because like I'm around them so much. So like it's just a very close friendship that I have with everyone.
I'm really excited to be back. It's really cool to see how far they have come and what they've turned it into. And I'm excited to play with them.
Yeah, me too. I hope that the alumni thing continues. I know a lot of the youngsters don't even know who we are because we're the old ones. So just looking forward to having fun.
We had 4 or 5 years of middle school students learning steel pan, and there became a need for those students to play in high school as well. So we brainstormed some ideas of how to raise some funds and maybe showcase the talents as well of our students. So we came up with the thought of a steel band festival. Our middle school steel bands have been to a few different festivals in Ohio and Pennsylvania, and so we decided to host one. And we tried to come up with different names and come up with a catchy name. And one of my 8th graders at the time, his name was Jake Flood. He came up with the idea of Panstock, kind of a little catch to Woodstock. And so we came up with that name, and we invited Dover Steel Band and a community steel band called Heavenly Metal to kind of make the first Panstock happen. And over the years, we've had some guest artists. Tracy Thornton happens to be coming back again for his 9th consecutive year as our guest artist. We've had Shelley Irvine was in as a guest artist as well. And we've had some guest steel bands in from across the state. But the past couple years, we've really trimmed it down to our steel band programs that we have in New Philly. And one of the unique things we started a few years ago was the New Philadelphia Community Steel Band, which involves about 30 to 35 individuals from the New Philadelphia community and surrounding communities, playing with about 25 of our current steel band students. So one of the other unique things we've had this year, after 10 years of having Panstock and 15 years of a steel band program, I invited back any alumni who had graduated from our program to come back and perform at Panstock for this year. And we had a number of alumni come back, and they joined the current steel band to make up the largest steel band that we've had during my time in New Philly of 75 members, playing some of the songs that we've played through the years. And it was really neat to kind of watch the students who haven't played pan in 5, 6, 7 years come back and just pick up like they've never left off, like they never left. They've never stopped playing pan. And just the muscle memory and the joy and the dancing as well. The students kind of create their own choreography over the years, and that kind of get passed down by tradition from year to year through the different upperclassmen. And to kind of watch some of the students, or former students who are like 23 or 24 years old now, who created some of the dance moves that the current steel band, some kids who are 13, 14-year-olds, that they're doing the same dance moves that these students created. It was really unique to watch. And it was a really neat moment as an educator, as even as a father personally, to watch some of these students who I've kind of helped grow up over the years and still stayed in contact with me come back and have all of those students, or former students, together in one place at the same time. It was something that I will never forget.
I remember preparing for Panstock, and it was the funnest week. It was so good.
Yeah. I mean, we practice for a whole week.
Yeah.
Like all day. And it was still.
And it was never boring. Like, we enjoyed it. We were looking forward to practice.
Yeah.
Who
And
can
I
say
mean,
that?
That is a lot, especially for, whenever you are younger, like in high school. That is a lot to practice for that long, be that focused with that many people.
Panstock, like the gym is packed. People are like standing because there's like no more seats. So I think it's really great how the community just comes together and just supports us.
And like there's just like a lot of energy and love in the room for like the entire time, and it's just like it's a cool thing to be able to do. It's really like a once in a lifetime kind of thing.
Panstock number 10, we brought in a guest rock band from New York City, and whose drummer actually happens to be a steel pan player. And we were really, really excited for the festival that we had.
Mr. Phillips has put in so much effort to make this literally the best, and having Oak and Ash come and play is just literally amazing.
Whenever we first had our first Panstock, it was just not even 20 people.
Yeah, it was so small.
Yeah, we had maybe maybe just basically parents and some students coming to the performance. And now, I mean, you'll be able to see it in the video. there's stages now, and like
It's
it'll
crazy.
be completely packed.
Walking in that room, it's intimidating because where we came from to go to that, we were like a tiny corner and like making room for all the other bands, and it's huge now.
Thank you so